really think that model is sustainable. But if it is sustainable, it probably will go the same route.
Well, they've found a niche, and they're not the only site like this. Living Social, which is a local site here in D.C., has been doing very well in the same kind of way. So I think Groupon represents a new kind of business model, and so whether it succeeds or not, we'll find out soon enough. And this IPO is going to be a bellwether for the economy, whether or not it does well.
I don't know whether it's a bellwether because it's not really a business or big enough. They only have what, $250 million in revenue. It's not big enough to be a bellwether.
No, but it is getting a lot of attention.
Yes, it's a bellwether whether IPOs are going to be successful or not.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Moving on. Las Vegas is known for its casinos, but let me tell you, Las Vegas does not make as much money as the 4, 5, 6 casinos that are in Macau, or 2 casinos that are in Singapore. Can you believe Singapore's 2 casinos make more money than all of Las Vegas?
I am surprised by that, because I actually have been to Macau, and although it's grand and fabulous, it doesn't seem to be nearly as big, not in size and not in revenue, as what I think Vegas should be.
Chinese come over there to play, on the tables, for each person who's playing, there's a line of 10 or 12 people behind them. And same thing in
and the bets
Singapore.
Are probably bigger.
Yeah, and in Singapore. In fact, Singapore does not even allow its own citizens to gamble. They charge 100 Singapore dollars, which is like a $79, as an entrance fee.
Wow.
You can only go in the casino if you have a foreign passport. And they are making money. And looking at it, what does Japan do? Fukushima, where the tsunami hit.
Right.
Now, the Japanese are thinking that might be an good area to bring all the casinos in. They're taking the model of Macau. They really think that they can make it very popular and all of Japan will come to play. Let's face it, Asians are gamblers.
Well, they also have money. Let's face it, the United States and people don't have pocket money to go and get a coffee at Starbucks. They're not going to go gamble it. They might go buy a lottery ticket, but they're certainly not going to go to Vegas to try to blow their money there.
That's right. What is happening, just like in the United States, almost so many states have now gotten into the casino business. Same way the world is getting into the casino business. Japan is not the only one. Taiwan. 6 miles out of China, that's that little island. They want to have a casino. Philippines want to have a casino. Thailand already has a casino. They want more casinos. And you got South Korea interested in having casinos there. So all of the Asia is now very excited. They have a lot of these ships that travel between these nations. Folks, they have a lot of gamblers on there.
Well, that concept is not totally alien to the U.S. either. If you think about what D.C. did and what Maryland and Virginia are trying to do, legalize slot machines.
Yes.
Or legalize online gaming websites. They're now being legalized in D.C. Why? Because the government realizes people are going to do this. And if they're going to do this, why not capitalize in some way? So you do see that phenomenon happening. But again, Las Vegas used to be the hub. That's the mecca, if you will, for going to go and gamble. And now people can just do it in their local hangout or in their backyard or in their local countries without coming to the U.S.
See, in America, there is no entry fee. So poor people go and play and lose their, life savings, which is called a tax on poor people. It is called tax on poor people. Stupid tax on poor people. That's what it's called. And in these other countries where they charge you $79, $80 for coming in, poor people just don't have the money to go gamble like that, So in a way, it saves that population.
I guess, and the rich just need a new playground, and apparently they have lots of different ones to choose from now.
Wait, you got to take rich people's money some way. This is a good way to take it.
As long as they do something
they
positive.
Don't feel the pain.
Do you think there's something called a stupid tax on rich people? Because I think there's someone in India that needs to really explain his behaviors. Folks, we did a story many, many moons ago about Mukesh Ambani and his big skyscraper, big ugly
$1 billion home.
$1 billion home in Mumbai. Folks, this is a skyscraper, which is basically his house. And it's got everything from
27 stories.
27 stories, 6 helipads. It's an ungodly, awful thing. And yet, the problem is, he built this thing, and he hasn't moved in. It's been months, and he has not moved in. So, of course, people are starting to wonder why he hasn't moved in. And it turns out it's because the building does not conform to the ancient Indian architectural doctrine known as Vastu Shastra.
Yes.
Which is kind of like, here if you're trying to equate it to something like feng shui, right? I mean, people won't come and buy certain homes if it doesn't follow feng shui. Well, this is kind of similar. Basically, Mukesh Ambani doesn't want to talk about this, right? He's been grilled by reporters. He doesn't want to have to answer any questions. But the fact is, the building is there. It's an eyesore, and the lights aren't even on.
But no.
Blight.
Every time he throws a party, the lights are on, and there is a huge hangama.
Well, that's basically all it's used for, is for those lavish parties. And I think India is just kind of tired of that sort of wealth. But just as you thought that he was making a spectacle of himself, folks, there are many in line right behind Mukesh Ambani trying to do the same thing. There's another building now, also a skyscraper, that is being built by the Singhania family, which controls the Raymond Group, the ubiquitous Indian suit maker. Seen at a distance, the two buildings are strikingly similar. And several other Mumbai industrialists are doing the same thing for their own private use. Venugopal Dhut, chairman of Videocon Industries, is constructing a 12-story private residential tower in the Mahalakshmi neighborhood. And the Kasliwal brothers, who own the textile and clothing company S. Kumar's, is building a luxury apartment complex for themselves in the lower Parel in central Mumbai. So this is a phenomenon for the rich to build their own skyscrapers and clutter the
They're creating a lot of jobs, don't you think?
But it's such a, I mean, what do you do with these things after they're built? I mean, they're not practical use for anyone, not even for them.
Well, that kind of job creation is not good. This is interesting because, government really thinks that there is an organized mafia that takes poor people, the beggars, and actually assigns them holidays. In holidays, it's very important for a Muslim community or even Hindu community to give charity.
Sure.
So if there is a beggar in front of you on those particular days, then you give them money. So this particular mafia is known to put people at the right place, in the right area, so that they can collect a lot of money for the organization, and then they're given per day diems.
This is true in every nation. I saw it years ago in France, where it's a network.
Yes.
You see these women and you feel sorry for them, and so you give them cash and money.